Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer. We're going to go on to another question now, and this one is on the very pressing issue on climate change, and we're going to go to Claire from South London. Hi, Claire.
Thank you. The world is facing a climate catastrophe now. Both of you have broken promises on the environment. What are you doing to put climate at the very centre of your policies?
Thank you very much, Rishi Sunak.
Well, Claire, I have two young girls, and this is what they talk to me about more than anything else. And of course, we're going to tackle climate change and get to net zero. This election is about how we do it. And I don't think that British people should solve a global problem all by themselves, which is why I'm also prioritising our country's energy security and your bills. We've heard a lot about the cost of living challenges today. So I have made some decisions, bold decisions, that will mean that we can save all of you thousands of pounds, still meet our targets, and we can ensure our country's energy security. The contrast is clear at this election, because Keir Starmer will reverse all of the changes I've made. That's going to cost everyone and you thousands of pounds and make our country less energy secure by banning North Sea energy.
OK.
And that, I don't think, is the right course for our country.
Rishi Sunak, thank you. Keir Starmer.
This £2,000 he keeps saying it's going to cost is absolute garbage. We won't go into the details of it. But, Claire, let me address your point, because this is really important. A transition is coming that's very important when it comes, for example, to energy, a transition to renewables. I don't think we should just see that as a challenge. It's a huge opportunity, because if we go to renewable energy, that means cheaper bills. Renewables are cheaper, not just for the short term, but for the long term. It gives us energy security, so it means that Putin can't put his boot on our throat, and the result you've all been feeling for the last 2 years. But it also gives us the next generation of jobs. Other countries have realised renewables is the future. They're in the race. I want the UK to be in the race. I want us to win the race. When it comes to hydrogen, offshore wind, solar, nuclear, the question I ask is why not?
Thank you very
Britain?
much. That's 45 seconds, Keir Starmer. We're going to try and stick to the rules if we can. There's a very specific point that Claire makes in her question. Both of you have broken your promises on the environment. Will you acknowledge that, Rishi Sunak?
No. We're going to stick to the targets we've put in place, but we're going to do it in a way that saves you all money. I'm not going to impose thousands of pounds of costs on you to arbitrarily rip out your boiler, change your car, convert your home. When we've been talking about the cost of living challenges earlier in this debate, I don't think adding thousands of pounds of cost to you is the right thing. Now, Keir Starmer is going to reverse those changes that I made. So everyone is facing thousands of pounds of higher bills. That is the choice at this election.
Let Keir Starmer respond to that and address the issue of broken promises. Well, please respond directly to what...
It's hard to respond because he's making it up as he goes along. But let me do the best that I can, because the promise I made was clean power by 2030. It's one of my 5 missions, Claire, one of the most important things that I want an incoming Labour government with the driving sense of purpose to achieve. Clean power by 2030. That's the promise I've made. That's the promise I'll keep. It'll be in our manifesto. It'll be fully costed and fully funded. But the Prime Minister is slowing down on the climate change. The problem with that is not only is that inconsistent with our obligations, it will cost more in the long run.
OK, let Rishi Sunak respond to that.
So it's completely head-in-the-sand stuff.
Keir Starmer is going to reverse the changes I made. To install a heat pump now, if you don't need to, costs about £7,000 or £10,000. To convert your home, again, if you're in a terraced house in Darlington, £10,000. Changing your car sooner than America, Canada, Sweden, France, Germany, as he wants you to do, thousands of pounds.
OK, let
There's
Keir
a simple
Starmer
choice
respond
at this election.
Thank you.
If you think Labour are going to win, start saving.
Let Keir Starmer respond to those specific points. Keir Starmer.
Well, the company that the Prime Minister's been using to try and trail out these figures has done some analysis, which is actually published today, Prime Minister. You obviously haven't seen it. What they say, this is the company he's relying on, is that will cost more, the 2030 plan, if you're with the Prime Minister than with a Labour government. And that's been published. I don't know whether you've been too busy or you perhaps haven't seen it, but the very company that he relies on to trot out these false figures is actually saying it's more expensive with the Conservatives than with Labour. Now, I would like him just to answer that.
Rishi Sunak,
anyone can go online when they get home. Go and see how much it will cost to convert your home. Go and see how much it will cost to install the heat pump. Go and see how much it will cost to change your car. Those are all the things that he's going to force you to do sooner than is necessary. You can go and see tonight the thousands of pounds that's going to cost you. I said it before, I'll say it again. He is going to put up your taxes, put up your bills, as clear as night follows day.
I'm going to just return very briefly to Claire's question. She's talking about a climate catastrophe now. What are you doing to put climate at the very centre of your policies? Very briefly.
I want to set up Great British Energy. This is a publicly owned company that will generate energy, that will have investment alongside it. It'll be owned by the taxpayer, making money for the taxpayer, and drive us to renewables so that we can have lower bills, secure energy, and the jobs of the future. I also think that we should insulate our houses because I think people are paying far too much in their bills, and and that was a project that was started 10 years ago and cancelled under the Conservatives when they said cut the green crap. We've lost 10 years. I'd get on with it and get your bills down because people are fed up with energy bills that have gone through the roof.
Thank you very much indeed for that.